Hello, everyone, and good evening. This is Vicky from PyLadies Dublin, and we have Anna here from PyLadies London for this
Everyone.
special International Women's Day event. Um, I'm gonna do start off with some announcements. So if Anna has any announcements along the way, just stop me. Just if something pops in your head. So today we're gonna have a talk, followed by kind of a workshop, an interactive workshop. So the talk is live streamed right now to YouTube. But if the workshop itself won't be live streamed, we will stop the stream after the talk. So if people want to join us, we will post the link to the YouTube live chat so you can join us. It's the Break the Bias interactive workshop. So let me go to the next slide. Did that pop up? Did that show it all? Anything change?
No, we
No.
cannot.
Goes to show. Where is my... Okay. Give me a second. I know what's going on. Nope, nothing has changed. Let me try and share again. Technical difficulty. Sorry, everyone. I'm gonna stop sharing. Oh, I'm on the wrong. It's because it's on a different laptop. Hold on. Did that work? So yes, welcome everyone. Finally got it done. I'm working off two different machines. So a few announcements from PyLadies Dublin. From on the team, I have myself, Vicky, Lay, who's in the background here in Zoom, and Michael as well, my other half, who's actually downstairs. But he's also moderating live chat, so you can see him saying hi to you as well. So if there's any questions and stuff, he'll be monitoring that, and he will tell us, a Q&A. I suppose Anna as well, about yourself, about your team. Maybe you want to give a quick shout out about who PyLadies Dublin or London is about, and what you do and who you are, for people who don't
Yeah,
know.
I'm Anna. I'm the organizer of PyLadies London. Right now, it is just me. I've been leading it myself since COVID started, pretty much. We've been doing virtual events. We also have a YouTube channel. If you're interested, we'll send out the link later. And we do monthly events. And yeah, this month I'm very excited because we reached out to do a joint event with PyLadies Dublin. And fun fact, Vicky and I, we actually met a few years ago when I spoke at PyCon Ireland. I don't even remember when that was. Do you?
Oh no, but it has to be between 2010 and 2013. So those are so it's
A long
been,
time
oh,
ago.
if I was running it, but then I was on and off at PyCon Ireland afterwards. So yeah, it's been quite a while. So yeah, but And you're a Python as well. I've seen yet you're a Python.
Yes, that's true.
So on with the announcements. I'll try and get through this as quick as we can. So mentioning EuroPython, they just announced their call for proposals. They also have a mentorship program. So if you want to be a mentor or a mentee for someone who for a mentor for someone who wants to give talks and help to prepare their talk, prep them to give that talk and submit it, or if you want to be a mentee and you need some help and to improve your talk before you submit it, and once you have your talk accepted, to get some help and advice to present your talk at EuroPython. And of course, financial aid is now open as well. Um, so I will share these slides to everyone. So you can also find these on EuroPython. They've been posting them up on their on Twitter. So that's their blog post of one of the recent announcements for CFP, FinAid, and their mentorship program. Another one I want to announce that they also are giving away 2 tickets to another conference. We like to share the news around about other folks' stuff as well. So Python WebConf. So as the instructions say, like this blog and tag 2 friends and retweet, and you get a chance to win 2 tickets there as well. Again, if you follow them on EuroPython, you'll get the latest updates from them. So this month is International Women's Day month, and a lot of events have been happening, but there's still some events that is upcoming. We're only like halfway through March, so this list of events can also be found at that highlighted link below, where I curate a lot of Irish-based and Northern Ireland Irish-based tech events and diversity in tech events. And I decided to list them here for people who might find it useful. So you have the UCD Women Leadership coming up on the 22nd. Then there's an in-person events, so people start noticing in-person events are happening again. So down in Cork, you have Girl Develop It, and one big one on March 25th to 27th is a hackathon by Techstars, so startup Dublin. They are working really hard putting this hackathon together, so there's still room if you want to participate. And they have a whole bunch of mentors, really amazing mentors, and judges as well. So check that out. One of my not-for-profits, Coding Race, we've gonna run a very limited, very small tech basics for founders. So that is a very kind of it's a virtual workshop, and we're limited to about like a handful of people. So if you're interested, check out the details are there in that link. Another in-person event, if you're up in Belfast or want to travel up there, Women in Tech are doing a drink and draw night. And then a Women in STEM Summit is happening at the end of March. I think hopefully I didn't. Hopefully it's not the same as the UCD one, so I'll have to double check. And of course, the Python events, the upcoming one here in Ireland is the monthly Python Ireland Meetup. They normally announce their events, kind of open it up about a week before their events kind of start. So check out python.ie. They're also on Meetup for details of what their event, what speakers and what will be happening that evening. So, and for us next month, we have 2 speakers, and it'll be on Tuesday, April 19th. It's already up on Meetup, so if you're interested in find out more details, head over there. And this will be remote as well. That's it. If you people are watching us through YouTube, or even doing replays, don't forget to do the usual like and subscribe, isn't it? And same with PyLadies London YouTube channel, like and subscribe to our channel as well. But this is the kind of rundown. We're a bit delayed starting this evening, but we do have our speaker coming up, Liliya, who will talk about what should I do next? How to unlock your career potential with the help of AI. So, sorry, there's no raffle. This is a copy and paste that was from last month. So ignore the 1910 one. Scrub that. Once Liliya finishes her talk, she'll have Q&A. So if anyone has any questions, we will pop them over from YouTube live chat, and also anyone on Zoom, pop your questions onto the chat as well. And Leigh and Michael and myself and Anna will keep an eye on the chat, and if there's any questions, we will let Liliya know after her talk. So without further ado, I will let Liliya share her screen, and I'll pop myself off and close my camera and let you take over. Is that okay? Cancel. So me do an intermission for now.
Okay, hello everyone, and thanks Vicky for introducing me. And just a reminder who is watching us in real time, don't forget to put your thoughts and your questions down below in the chat. And it's useful to see what you are thinking and would like to discuss in our Q&A session. Okay, so as Vicky introduced, my topic today is related to career advancement, and I will talk about what to do next and how to uncover the career potential with the help of artificial intelligence. And let me first introduce me briefly. I'm a data scientist working at iTunes, where I worked on a range of tasks. And I worked on candidate resume matching, and now developing AI part of our new opportunity marketplace product, which was launched on winter. And opportunity marketplace product allows employees to advance their careers inside their organizations. And a bit more about the company. iTunes is a talent cloud company with over 4,000 clients and 4 million people getting hired through iTunes platform every year. So when you apply for a job in a company website and the recruiter gets back to you, it's very probable that our software is running to provide this service. Okay, so before we dive into all aspects of the problem of recommending career steps, let me describe my own journey. As a school student, I equally loved all subjects, both STEM and non-STEM. However, I excelled more in STEM subjects, and I really loved programming in school. But unfortunately, I didn't get much support from my family or from my school teachers on taking exam in programming. And none of the girls also in my university or in my school were taking that exam in my class. So I decided to go with math. And because I was uncertain about exactly what to take, so I found a fancy program, double program, and I got education from 2 universities. In one, I got education in applied mathematics and physics, and in another one in economics. And after all this hodgepodge of subjects, my career options really was like a scientist from one university, it's a mathematician or physicist or something in between. And from another university, it was economist, statistician, auditor, I don't know, business or budget analyst, or even accountant. But all that didn't feel right to me. And unfortunately, in my family, taking a break from study was not an option. So I had to apply for a master's degree. And again, unfortunately, maybe for me, I found like a new program, double program appeared. So again, I got one university education in applied mathematics and physics, and in another university education in economics and informatics. But the second education was more business centered. So there was an opportunity to start working in the company and write my thesis there. So I applied to work at a medical startup as a project manager. I was developing roadmaps, talking to stakeholders, and even pitching to investors. But still, I was looking at another desk in my office where programmers were solving some technical tasks, and it really was interesting to me. And I started to ask for some assignments to take me to work on. And gladly, because it was a small and growing startup, and there was a lack of spare pair of hands, I was given this opportunity, and for which I'm very thankful for. And I started to work on Python / Java projects. And at the same time, I started also to attend classes on computer science classes where I was learning machine learning and Python. And after a year of my master's and working at a startup, I was suggested by my professor to go to Dublin, Ireland, and get a PhD there in computer science. So without any further hesitation, I packed my suitcase and I moved to Dublin to do a PhD. And after finishing a PhD, I started to work as a data scientist, first in retail company, then in cybersecurity company, and now as a data scientist / AI engineer at iSIMS. And looking retrospectively at my journey, I'm thinking that my time at the medical startup was really crucial because I was given an opportunity to tap into developer work, even that I didn't have any background on that. But with encouragement and support, I was so able to move forward. And I'm really thinking if it happened without that encouragement. And looking back now, I don't think so that it happened. I was sitting now here talking to you as a data scientist. And because that time I was uncertain, I was shy, and I had really incredible imposter syndrome. And as Alice from the famous Lewis Carroll novel, which I really, really love because it's really full of wisdom, as Alice said, that it's very often to me that I give myself very good advice, but I very seldom follow it. And I think it's so true, especially for women, that we know where our passion or spark lies, but we are finding trouble to reach out for some guidance and support. And especially if our passion lies in a male dominant industry. And referring to some statistics, data says that women are 60% less time likely to apply for a job after viewing it. And the general, they 20% less time apply to any job than men. But when they apply, they have more chances to get hired. Isn't that interesting information? And I think so. If we give a bit more encouragement to people who want to switch careers, it would be really great. And if that tool which gives encouragement would be an AI tool, I think I don't mind. I don't mind if it accomplishes the task of suggesting my next career steps. And it links me to relevant people in my workplace, for example, and links me to interesting aspirational projects and open opportunities in my workplace. And in pre-COVID days, pre-pandemic days, these connections were mostly forming at networking events. But nowadays, everything has really changed. Companies have started to hire more remote employees in different locations, and offline events are reconsidered towards online Zoom calls. And what if this tool can also be free of bias, recommending my next roles or projects based probably on my aspirations or skills, but nothing really else? Okay, talking about bias. We often complain that AI is biased, but humans can actually be more biased. As you would see from this short video made by a fantastic sketch group called Foil, Arms and Hawk. And let's watch it.
Thank you very much for coming in. No worries, there's my resume.
Oh, just let me know, please, if you can hear it, or just put in a down below in the comment. I stopped my sharing.
Yes, I was able to hear it.
Okay, great, great. Oops. Stop.
Oh no, it's much more subtle than that. Yeah. Okay. It's the
Okay, let me
salesman.
start. Come back.
You can tell a person's perfect career just by looking at them. Oh, okay. It's a gift. Right. Well, used car salesman. Used car salesman? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's perfect. Okay, was it the way I'm sitting or the way I came into the room? Or... no, it's much more subtle than that. Yeah. Okay. It's the mustache. The mustache? You have a perfect used car salesman mustache. Okay, so you're recommending a future career for me based around the fact that I have a mustache? Well, not just that. No, it's also the expensive yet cheap-looking shirt. Excuse me? You're the perfect used car salesman. But I don't want to be a car salesman. Used car salesman. Whatever. I wanted to work with children. You know, I was thinking maybe teaching. Oh, not with that mustache. No, not since the 80s, sadly. Yeah. Well, you can't just... Basketball coach. You could be a basketball coach. I don't know the first thing about basketball. That's very surprising, what with the, Because of the mustache. Mustache, yes. Can you just forget I have a mustache for a second, please? Okay, well, looking past the mustache, Thank you. I'm thinking hairdresser. Hairdresser? Why hairdresser? Because of your car. That's not a hairdresser's car. That's a hairdresser's car. You're recommending careers to me based on what I look like and what car I drive. Well, then that's not fair. There's an awful lot of considerations that go into all of this. Really? Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, your posture is perfect for someone in IT. Your handwriting is atrocious. You'd make a wonderful doctor. And you've rescheduled this appointment 3 times, so obviously I'm thinking plumber, or really anything within the trades. Okay, well they seem like ridiculous reasons to choose a career. You tried it your way, okay? And you've still ended up in here. Oh, what career am I gonna do? Oh, I don't know, I'm not sure, I haven't figured it out yet. You're in your mid-30s, okay? You still haven't figured it out, so it's time to try something different. But I don't like any of the careers that you suggested. That's fine, we were just getting started, okay? Look, we've got lots more. You could be a truck driver, or supermarket manager. Because they have mustaches. They're mustache jobs. Can you just drop the mustache thing, please? Okay, fine. All right, look, if you were maybe willing to grow a beard, it would open some doors for you. Oh my God. So you could have a lumberjack, hipster barber, rabbi. Rabbi. Can you just forget about the whole facial hair thing, please? All right, I'll try. Well, I notice you have quite a lot of dandruff on your shoulders. Excuse me? Have you considered a career in the priesthood? Are you being funny with me? Bouncer. I don't have time for this. The civil service. I want my money back. Bank manager. This conversation is over. Ryanair customer service. That's it. I'm leaving. My ex-wife.
Okay, I hope you heard it and you enjoyed this video, especially those who have seen it their first time. And funny thing that here's a man in this illustration who feels outraged, but you know, we women feel it all the time. I don't know if you agree with me, just put your thumb up below or thumb down if you don't agree with me in the chat. And okay, let's move on to some details. And talking about career passing, career moves could be divided into 2 tracks. They could be vertical, defined by a simple seniority level upgrade, and horizontal or lateral, described by aspirational or transferable skills. And let's have some illustration. Let's take Sally's example. Sally has a similar journey to me. Actually, maybe it's mostly me, but it's easy to describe on someone else's example. So you got it, me. So she currently works as a project manager in her company. And she has a set of skills. It's a goal setting, agile, time management, and SQL. And maybe her agile skill is not perfect, but enough for her current role. But recently she attended a really cool meetup, PyLadies Meetup, and she got inspired by women in AI and machine learning. And she started to take a course on machine learning and learn Python Git, Pandas, maybe some other libraries. And she is now thinking what to do that with these skills. And she really like have a spark in her eyes. She's working on this project in her free time. And for her, we have two options, as I mentioned. First one is vertical move. As she works now as a project manager, she can become a senior project manager. And for that role, she probably needs to advance some of her skills. Maybe she needs to take some leadership opportunities in her role. But her aspirational skills block moves with her without any use. And she has two options here. She can go ahead and just leave this her aspirations as a side project maybe, or she can consider towards changing roles to something where she can start using them. And if Sally stays in her current role and has a vertical move, she will probably get a salary, a high salary, and more respect. But she can also make a lateral move, and she probably can become a junior data scientist if that's something that is available in her workplace. And she can acquire she can like start using her Python, Git, and other skills she acquired in her free time. And she can also still use her skills she used to work as a project manager, because why not? Those are really nice skills like time management and goal setting, agile, and the scale. And if she makes that move, she will probably get more satisfaction, because this is something that inspires her. And for salary, maybe she doesn't get a salary increase initially, but she will eventually get it because she will be more satisfied in her new role. But how do we link our Sally to this new role? And as I mentioned before, in like a pre-pandemic and days, and in general, maybe 10 years ago, it would be maybe natural to maybe meet some colleagues from another department at a coffee counter in maybe her workplace, and attend some conferences, and because face-to-face interactions are easier in some way than to reach out to someone remote. But nowadays, it's not really such an option. Can be still an option, but much more difficult because of expanded remote work. But in our company where Sally works, we have a Tom. And Tom works as a senior data scientist. And Tom is really eager to disseminate his knowledge of machine learning, data science, and to walk through his role and to be a mentor. And we also have Lucia. Lucia works also as a data scientist, and she has a background in linguistics, and she can also guide through her day-to-day job. And maybe for our Sally and Lucia could be more relatable, because they both share non-technical background, and Lucia understands how to switch from non-technical to technical role. And this way, we are nicely linking our Sally to our mentors and open opportunity in her workplace. But there are some particular challenges with building this career path from us data scientists' point of view. For example, how do we know if the next step we suggest is actually career progression? And how do we distinguish vertical and lateral career moves? And to give Sally good recommendations, she can start applying straight away. Well, there are several indicators which we can use. For example, we can refer seniority levels and suggest vertical moves based on them. We can learn from a large pool of career histories about career progressions people were making in the past to help build career passing trees. And we can do also salary estimates to guess which next steps would bring more financial profit. And talking more about challenges, one of the challenges I just mentioned is the seniority level understanding to recommend next career steps. And for example, we want to distinguish professional and managerial track. And here's a couple of examples. For example, senior product manager. It's a senior role, and it's also an individual contributor role. But at the same time, senior manager of data science, also a senior role, but it's a people's manager role. And we want to know this information in order, for example, to not recommend a junior person, individual contributor person in the company, some really senior role, and vice versa. Okay, how to solve this problem? We tried different approaches, but finally we came up with manual labeling of a subsample of data. And in the sense, I can say that manual data labeling shouldn't be really neglected by companies who build machine learning products, because it can give a really large boost in performance of models, especially if data is really in a narrow domain. Okay, the next challenge we faced is title normalization. And title normalization is a reduction of set of titles to some smaller set in order to build clear career trajectories for recommending next career steps. And why we want to do that? Okay, over years, we as a company accumulated lots of career histories and over 3 million of unique titles. And of course, if retrieving career recommendations from this data, our results would be really, really noisy. Give you some example. For example, SR product MNGR, we want to normalize it to something like a senior product manager. And VP of ENG, we want to normalize it to vice president of engineering. There could be much more examples, but I think you got an idea of challenge. Okay, so for solving that problem, we tried different approaches, both supervised and unsupervised approaches. And for unsupervised, I'm talking about different text similarities techniques, like different versions of KNN algorithm, and also some supervised techniques. And in this sense, I can say that whenever approaches we're trying, transformers is the real power in solving any natural language processing problem. And for us, transformers is just so handy, and we don't see that any other approaches can really outperform transformers performance. Okay, so other challenges is or indicators which we can use to help us distinguish lateral and vertical career moves is knowing industry or job category. Job category, here you see link. I think it's it's used in many countries, especially if you apply it ever for a visa, and you know this that SOC codes. It stands for Standard Occupational Classification, and it was developed with the purpose of clustering job titles into the occupation categories. And we inferred that knowledge, and it was helpful for us to distinguish different career tracks. And another and last indicator and important feature we are tracking is bias mitigation, and we are taking this really seriously in now, when we're developing models, and we're monitoring bias at all stages of our development and production work. For example, we anonymize and depersonalize all our resume and job data. And also we are giving for employees an option to decide which skills and their historical information they want to use for suggesting them career recommendations instead of using their full historical profiles. So we can say that in some sense, we mitigate bias by design. And it really helps us to not introduce undesired bias in our system. And I'm wrapping up my talk. By building this product, we are hoping to impact many people who are struggling currently with their career choices and need to take that first step towards their passions. And if artificial intelligence solution can help with that, then why not? I don't mind. And tell me if you don't mind, please. Okay, thank you much for your attention and for your time. And I'm ready to answer your questions. Okay.
Thank you for your talk. So has there been any questions? Let me have a see. So people are being very quiet right now. So so those on Zoom, you're
Stop sharing.
Yep, you've stopped sharing. Yep. Okay, so it's just me being muted. So so everyone on any questions? Either on YouTube live chat or here right on Zoom. People in Zoom here as well. There's a couple of people joined. So if any questions for yeah, we have some time. So with the waiting, everyone's always been shy. It's a lot of people saying thank you to your talk. I think you did a good job. There's no questions. So you'll be able to share me your slides so I can share them to people after the event. I'll be posting a post-event message normally via Meetup, and I'll tend to do a very quick write-up as well, like a quick blog post. So if anyone has kind of like slides, announcements and things like that, that's where I pop it in. Yeah, I think your talk was very clear and concise. People have no questions so far.
Yeah.
I suppose is there kind of a site for people to go to and learn more about it? I suppose you can share that.
Sure, I will share everything. Thanks.
Okay, cool. So I suppose we can pop everyone back up again. Whoever wants to, as in the organizers. Because if I'll keep an eye if there's any questions. Because we will stop the stream after this if there's and we'll wrap up before we get to our activity. So one thing is for people who want to join while we're waiting, if there's any more questions, just want to say that we have an interactive workshop after this after the Q&A if there's any questions, and I will share the Zoom link. Give me a sec. I'm trying to find my Zoom window and get the link. Where is it? So people who want to join, and this won't be recorded. This workshop won't be recorded or streamed, so it's down to the people who are participating, just because it could be kind of very people can be more candid when participating, and there's kind of topics or might be sensitive. So I suppose I will point you to Anna to give you kind of a quick lowdown before we get into it, just to give people an idea what the workshop is about, so give people a chance to join us while we keep streaming.
Yes, of course. So you might have heard of leanin.org. It was founded by I don't know if she's still the CEO or former CEO of Facebook, Sheryl Sandberg. She's the one who wrote the book Lean In. I'm personally a fan. I've read her book, and her organization, they created a workshop. It's called 50 Ways to Fight Bias, which explains different forms of bias that you might encounter in the workplace, especially as a woman. And then they do give 50 examples, which people are supposed to discuss. For the sake of time, because this is supposed to be a half-day workshop and it is late right now, I picked out just 3 examples, which I think were pretty representative for happening to women in the workplace. And what we'll do is, after I've given a quick overview of like biases and so on, we will discuss these 3 scenarios as a group to see what you can do if this were to happen in your workplace. And I do think it's important because we have to remember that we all have biases, whether that's conscious or unconscious. And I think it is important to always make yourself aware that these exist and to kind of do your part in fighting these biases. I also have a few really fun and interesting icebreakers. And then at the end, we will have just kind of like a closing activity where you will write down one thing, how you can fight bias proactively. So don't be scared by the name workshop or interactive activity. I think it will be really quite fun, and you don't have to participate. If you want to just sit and listen as a quiet listener, you are welcome to do that as well. But if you are interested in joining, please pop over to the Zoom now. And I saw Vicky posted, we do have a question for Liliya. I'm just going to read it out. Liliya, what do you find the most interesting about career pathing?
I think it's maybe the fact that eventually, like maybe people come to career pathing of what they want to do more than they initially maybe studied or worked in early stages of their career. Because when you work in a job which you're not passionate about, it's really, really hard to sustain that and to work, I don't know, 40 hours or a week. And I think that's like an interesting fact. And what I'm also passionate about, the product we are developing now, that maybe it will help like more people to be, to make that switch faster and not to stay in there like in the jobs they don't like.
I actually do have a question, and this might be a bit controversial, but I remember when you talked about the lateral versus vertical switch, you talked about satisfaction and salary. And I think we all know that tech jobs are generally paid very well. Have you done any research on people making the switch simply for salary reasons and how that turned out in terms of satisfaction? Like, did they stay in the job or did they move to a different job? I'm just find it very interesting to see, because people obviously have different reasons to move to a tech job. What's your opinion on that?
Yes, of course, yeah, that's a fact that technical jobs are paid better than other jobs. But I put that example because that's where I am, and it was easy for me to describe on that example. But when I was switching careers, I didn't do any investigation on salaries, and nobody was telling me that, oh, you need to switch because like you would get more higher salary. That time, I remember I was just thinking like, okay, what I really like to do, and it turned out to be what I'm doing at the moment. And talking about switches, for example, I know many examples like some software engineers were switching and becoming, I don't know, artists, and they were really happy about that, or musicians, and I think it doesn't worth the life to work on a job which you don't like. So I believe still that if you're passionate about something, then money would come and you would eventually be getting paid well.
I agree with you. And obviously there's other benefits too, like flexibility, working remotely and things like that. So yeah, thank you. Do we have any other questions at this point?
I think we don't. I think we can start to wrap this live session up and move on to our workshop session. So thank you again, Liliya, for talking this evening. This talk will be available for people to play back, so it'll be there. So feel free, and if you need a copy, let me know. I'll send you a copy as well. But thank you again for your time to talk to us. And yeah, if there's any questions, people can just email me and I can forward them on to you as well if people didn't get a chance and they have something to ask and they didn't get a chance this evening. Okay, thank you. I'll just switch over to the ending screen. So bye everyone.